It's in the URL. I need to get at it, right? It's not a prop or anything like that yet. We need to figure out how to get that. React Router has a higher order component called withRouter that will take all of this route information and pass it in as props to a given component. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab that. So we'll go back to our post page. And we'll say import withRouter. And this is not dissimilar from like the use context concept, right? React Router DOM. And all I have to do is wrap this component with router. And what withRouter does, and we'll actually write a higher order component in a second, so if this is black magic to you, we will dispel the black magic in a little bit. We're going to create one of these called withUser in a little bit that will like basically use our abstraction from before and create the same basic concept so we can also pass a user in here for when they make comments. But let's go with it for now. Let's go ahead and let's just say console log this.props. These are the props. You can see there's a history, which is the browser history API for routing back and forth. The current location, right? It's got the given path name and stuff like that. Match is the one we care about. Because if you look at params, look at that right there. That's my post ID. I got it, right? And so we can use that now to fetch the post from Firebase. Cool, so let's just go ahead and just to make a point. This.props, say match.params.id. Cool, there it is. Now we know that we can get it in the component. My job now is to grab that prop, hook into Firebase, subscribe to that document, also get its comments, right, because that's a sub-collection, right, subscribe to those as well, and hold on to the references so that we can add comments there, right? And that'll be determined by the URL, which will tell us what to subscribe to and unsubscribe to. Awesome. Feel good about this. All right. Let's give ourselves some helpers. So we're going to say get post ID, because I don't like typing, he says hours into this. Match.params.id. So there's our post ID. Now we can just say this.postID from here on out, which feels a lot better for me. We'll say this.postRef, this.get postref, which is just going to build on top of that. It's going to return firestore.doc post slash. Also, in the storage, when you saw me use child, that's because I was later to do a lot of variables in there. I could have done ref and done the same thing I'm doing with this doc as well. That would have totally worked. I just chose not to. So we'll do the this.postID, right, which is now based on this one, so that we're not typing all of that in there. We're kind of just building up the things that we need slowly. And with a ref, you can always extend a ref. So we can also say this.commentsRef is return this.postRef, right? So you can see each one of these is kind of building on the last one, .collection comments, right? So these are this is really /post /postID /comments, right? We're kind of like building each one up, and now we can get to the document itself as well as its sub-collection, and have both available to us. Okay. We'll have the ability to unsubscribe from post, unsubscribe from comments. We just define them here. I think there's two reasons. One, technically it's like a V8 performance thing, which is that we know the shape of the object. V8 can make performance optimizations over like dynamically defining properties. I also like it because I feel like it documents what's actually on this class. Rare that a performance tweak actually helps. All right, so when the component mounts, we're going to say this dot unsubscribe from post equals this dot postref dot on snapshot. Const post. Just get that in a way that React likes. And then we'll this dot set state post. Let's do copy that and we'll say comments ref comments. This is actually going to have to do a map now. Snapshot, because this is an array of them. All right, so this will go ahead and subscribe to both, and on component will unmount. We will unsubscribe from the post, because this one, they could very well navigate away from this page. We do need to clean up first. When we were doing it in the application component or in the providers that were always alive, that was just being like responsible and good citizens. And you should totally do that because you never know how the refactoring goes. But in this case, like we know that like the user is going to navigate away from an individual post. So we need to clean up our listeners in this case. But we should always clean up our listeners. It's fine. All right, awesome. So we have both these in place. Let's actually just see if we can go into the React tools. Let's see what I can do with this. Go into the post page. So you can see the state. We've got the post. We have all the data about the post. Comments is an array of 0 items, which makes total sense. We haven't made a comment yet, right? So I'm not totally surprised by that. But it looks like we have everything we need from Firebase as it's happening, which is great. Okay, now we actually just need a real UI. So what we'll say is const post comments equals this dot state. And we'll return, let's call it a section. And if you have the post, show me a post. Cool. And show the comments. Comments, the on create. We'll leave that blank for now. Let's just see if we can get everything on the page. That should do the trick. Did not like that, so I'll just put an empty method in there for now. Just make sure it loads. Skip that for a second. Cool. So we can see the post.